Hello everybody and welcome back to more of our patch 2.0 coverage. This is one of our many class guides that we have. In this video we'll specifically be going over all the changes to the Operative and the Scoundrel advanced class, and we'll be going through the talent trees, all the new abilities, all the changes to abilities and whatnot. The one thing we won't be going over is the gear, the new gear. We have a separate video that shows all of the gear for your convenience, but you can see it here on this character if you're just interested. In fact, I'll even show the helm for you real quick. Now, before we actually get started, look at that helm. That's just ridiculous. More duck face. It's always the duck face with the agent helm. So before we actually get started, the most important thing that we have to mention is that Alacrity as a stat has been changed, right? So previously it just kind of increased your cast speed and stuff like that, but now it is way better. So reading directly from the patch notes here, it says that it has been redesigned to be more universally useful as a stat. It says Alacrity reduces the activation time of all abilities, including instant abilities. If such an ability is reduced below the global cooldown is reduced as well. Alacrity also now increases resource regeneration for all classes by the same amount that it increased ability activation speed. So that's the basic rundown. That's important to know because there's a lot of Alacrity and all these new stuff, and I'll do that on all of these class guides just to make it very clear so people aren't like, oh, Alacrity's terrible. It's actually really good now, and it's quite nice to have. It's not like your primary stat, but it is quite nice to have. So the first thing we shall start out with is the new abilities, because I mean, let's be honest, that's what you guys came here to see, is all the new abilities, the new talents and whatnot. I'll be talking primarily in agent speak here. You could pretty much translate if you need to as a Scoundrel, but I will go back and translate when I get the chance here. So the first thing is just two little things, right? So Explosive Probe is now 25 energy and deals a little bit more damage. Not really too useful to know. That's more of like a sniper and gunslinger thing. And Corrosive Dart is now 16 energy down from 20 energy. So that's just one of those things. Headshot has been removed from the game, and Eviscerate has been removed from the game. In fact, all of those kinds of abilities have. And I kind of agree with that because they were fairly useless in PvE. PvP, they were okay. Pretty useless in PvE. And that's really all I do, so I don't really have experience with PvP there. Now, here we go. This is the exciting part. So, new abilities, right? There's two major new abilities added for the Scoundrel and for the Operative. So the first is this Exfiltrate, right? Basically, it says rolls forward 12 meters. When slowed, you only roll 6 meters. So you roll half of the roll. While rolling, your chance to dodge melee and ranged attacks is increased by 30%, does not break stealth, cannot be used while immobilized, right? So we'll show you it here. Oh, by the way, it only costs 21 energy. That's with some talent points that I have. We'll show you it here. Bloop. It's quite nice. You can keep using it because there's no cooldown on it. You just have to worry about the global cooldown. Just kind of flipping around, man. I'm totally flipping out here. It's great. So as you can probably tell, this is a very good ability for PvP, for getting away from people. It's great for PvE when you're like, there's an AoE and you're like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here. Or for moving into combat. Because previously, as a DPS Operative or Scoundrel, you don't have a way to get to a target very quickly. That was one of the major complaints, is you couldn't get into combat without having to like trot over there all awkward like. But now you could just exfiltrate or infiltrate. Infiltrate's a whole other ability. But this ability is called the, let me see if I can find it here. It is called the Scamper for the Scoundrel. Now, there's also a new passive ability, right? And this ties into another change here. So there's a new passive ability, if I can find it. It is called Preparedness, but I don't see it here. There it is. So Preparedness increases energy regeneration rate by 1 per second. This seems very familiar because previously this was on Stim Boost, and whatever the equivalent is on the Scoundrel. We'll talk about that in a second, but the other thing to mention is that avoidance training has been completely removed from the game, and the effect is now incorporated into evasion itself. So as you see here, the evasion has the avoidance training effect in on it. So that's kind of nice. Now, as far as the preparedness, so you have the extra regeneration, right? So 1 per second, but that is now gone from Stim Boost, right? So Stim Boost is now a 2-minute cooldown. That's up from 35 seconds, but it only lasts for 15 seconds. It says inject yourself with a specially engineered Imperial Stim or whatever the heck it is on the Republic, and immediately gaining tactical advantage. So you gain a tactical advantage when you use one, and it boosts your Alacrity by 10% for 15 seconds. So it's a DPS cooldown basically, or an oh crap button cooldown if you need a tactical advantage. So that's worth noting. 2-minute cooldown on it. It's kind of nice. I actually like it a bit more because now the passive regeneration is already built into your character. You don't have to worry about always having that on cooldown. It is a little weird to get used to at first because your muscle memory wants to smash that sucker every time it's off cooldown. And you gotta, I mean, if you're raiding, you gotta kind of use it effectively in certain positions because it gives you that extra alacrity, which is really nice now, and I love it. Let's see here. What else was added? Carbine Burst is now trainable at level 12, which is very nice. It's that the AoE thing that you can do. Colto Infusion, this heal over here, which requires a tactical advantage, has been redesigned. It now has a heal over time after its major effect, which is quite nice. As you can see the numbers there. It's 300 or 3041 over 9 seconds, and that's with the level 55 and the gear that I have. So I mean, you can equate that to whatever 50 would be. It's not that huge of a stat upgrade from 50 to 55. Just letting you know. Now, tactical advantage also got its giggle back. Do you remember the giggle? When you gained a tactical advantage, your character would be like, haha. That's back. Okay, so we'll use that in a second. I'll show you it. But let's get through the rest of the changes. So Diagnostic Scan is also trainable at level 18. Infiltrate can now be activated while stealth is active, or only while stealth is active. There we go. Additionally, infiltrated group members can now use sneak and blackout, or whatever the equivalent is on the Republic. Infiltrate now provides a visual effect that shows the stealth field projected around the operative. We'll show you that in a second. And Infiltrate now reduces movement speed by 15%, which is down from 30%. So let's go, actually let's bust out my companion. And just to prove that you can roll while stealth, we'll re-stealth here. And then we'll roll. So you can use it while stealth, which is quite nice. Very nice to get away from people. Overall, I'm feeling like the generation of the energy is in a very good spot for this class. I'm liking it now. So let's see here. Where's my infiltrate? There it is. You'll see I now have an area of effect of where the actual stealth is, which is quite nice, and it only reduces the speed of party members by 15%. It feels more useful. I feel like I would use it more simply because I can actually see the location of where the stealth field actually is. I like it. Very good. Now, let's see here. What else did I want to show you? Let's get out of stealth. Let's show you the Stim Boost laugh. Are you ready for this? This is the Imperial Agent voiceover version. It's kind of like a little chuckle. It's quite good. And Carbine Burst, if you didn't know what that was, is that. I do have a pretty sweet rifle. That came from this new gear. I can't think of any new abilities that were added. Some little tweaks and stuff here and there. And we'll go into that as we go into... wow, I totally dragged something off of my bar there that I need for later, which I will grab right now as I talk to you about the talent trees. So the talent trees are big. Look at those big talent trees. Yeah, they're quite talented. We'll just start from the left tree and go to the right. How about that? That seems to be the most effective way of doing this. And the middle tree and the right tree are the most changed. The left tree is actually fairly similar. It's actually entirely similar up until this part. So everything from here down is the exact same thing, from what I could tell. Now, that's okay, but you have these two new talents here, and then that's your typical last talent. So these two new talents here, first one is increases the healing dealt by Colto Probe, recuperate nanotech by 3%, additionally increases the duration of recuperate nanotech by 1 second, and reduces the energy cost of Colto Probe by 2. And that obviously goes up with 3 ranks. I don't really heal on this character. I've never really healed on an Operative or Scoundrel, but I do know that that is quite nice. And then the last one is exiting stealth mode grants 1 stack of tactical advantage, which would be 2 stacks of tactical advantage. Very nice for a healer. Very nice for a healer in PvP. Very nice for a healer in just about every situation, actually. Now, Concealment got a lot of changes. I really like Concealment. I've always really liked Concealment, but now it's even better. So the first major change is, the bottom row is the same. This is new, though, Scouting. So it increases your stealth detection level by however many. I just put 1 in there because I didn't know where to put it. I probably should have put it in the Endurance, which is the same, by the way. Now, so that's new, and increases your chance to dodge. More of like a PvP-ish talent or a solo talent. It's, I mean, not really useful for PvE, let's be honest. Surgical Strikes used to be a 2 talent. Let me double check that. Yes, it used to be 2, and it did go up to 4%. Now, this goes up to 4% with 1 talent point. Quite nice. The Infiltrator also used to be 3 talents. I'm pretty sure that was, yes, it was 15% and 3 stealth level. It's the same with only 2. So that's where I was confused when I was making this talent tree. So I probably should put the extra point into the health because I had nowhere else to put it. Now, let's see here. These are the same. So these are the same. There used to be a talent here, right? That got moved up. We'll look at that in a second. There is a new talent, as you see here, Ghost, right? Exiting stealth mode now finishes the cooldown of Sneak, and Sneak can be used out of stealth mode, increasing movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. In addition, Cloaking Screen no longer reduces healing dealt and received. So, as you see here, there's Sneak, right? This is actually a very similar ability to what Assassins and whatever the what's it called? I know the name of it. It's Assassins and some stupid name for the Inquisitor or the Consular one. Oh, hell, I'll remember in a second. Oh, I put Sneak over there. That's why it was gone from my bars. Anyway, so you use Sneak, and if you have that talent... I think it's broken. It's either broken or that's the thing, but it increases your movement speed by 50%. No, that was working. However, when you go into stealth and you go out of stealth, it should take it off cooldown. So there you go. You can use it again. So you can use this as a charge while in combat, which is quite nice, but there's also a couple other talents that make that a lot easier for DPS operatives. So you have that. Quite nice. We'll go back in the talent tree here. This one is the same, and this one is the same, so don't worry about that. This used to be here, and it used to only be 1 talent, right? Because they changed Stim Boost now. So it used to be, I'll read it out to you because I have it on my other screen. Stim Boost used to grant revitalizers for 2% of the total health every 3 seconds while Stim Boost was active. Now Stim Boost is only a 15-second thing, so it grants, I think, 4%, I haven't put the 2 points in, I probably should, of total health every 3 seconds for the duration, which is it's a nice little boost. You may as well do it if you're going to be using it in a raid situation. There is a new talent here called Culling. Increases the damage dealt by Laceration and Collateral Strike, which is an effect from the Laceration trees here, by 4%. In addition, when Collateral Strike damages the target, you recover 10 energy. That's very nice. This talent's the same. This talent's the same. You don't have to worry about that. This talent's the same. This talent's the same, but it has a new icon. I know. It's very exciting. This talent is new. Increases the effective stealth level by 2. In addition, when you activate Exfiltrate, you have a 50% chance to trigger evasion for 1 second. This effect cannot occur more than once every 15 seconds. Also reduces the energy cost of Exfiltrate. Exfiltrate is the roll, right? So basically I have a chance, let's see if we can get it here, there we go. See the evasion pop up, the shield went on me. So I get evasion, which is 100%, dodge and all that stuff. So it's quite nice if you can get it. It's a 50% chance and I don't, oh come on, give me it. Is there a global cooldown on it? Once every 15 seconds, okay, well that's why I didn't get it. There we go, there it is again. It's kind of nice. It'll keep you alive a little easier. So I figured, yeah, may as well put it in there. Plus, effective stealth level by 2 is great. Backstab and Hidden Strike have a 100% chance to trigger Calculated Frenzy, which increases Alacrity by 6% for 15 seconds. That is a very nice buff to have since the Alacrity change is quite nice. Now, we're going to go into the other tree now, but the first thing I have to mention is the best thing that I have to mention. Hit and run, right? So, striking a target with Shiv grants hit and run, increasing your movement speed by 50% for 2 seconds. That is very good. That is a nice way of getting around the battlefield now, especially in PvE and PvP. Both circumstances are very good. Before, it just increased the damage dealt by Shiv by 4 and 8%. Now it is much better. You know, it's not a damage increase, however, it technically is because you can get around a bit easier. That's the same. That is the same. I probably should have put points into that, but yeah, who knows. Corrosive darts, all of that. This is all the same. This is different. So it actually removed a portion of this talent. Before, it also added increased movement speed by 15 or 30% for 4 seconds after activating Debilitate. That is no longer the case, as you can see there, probably because of the Shiv change, which is quite nice. These are all the same. These 3 are the same. Actually, no, all 4 of those are the same. These 3 are the same. This one is new. Increases the amount of damage absorbed by shield probe, which would be 30% when that is fully maxed out. This is new. Yes, your periodic damage effects do not tick on targets affected by any of your sleep effects. Very good. I like that. Yeah, very good. That's the same. That is the same. This is new, obviously. I think all of these talents across this line are typically new on all of the classes, from what I've noticed. Increases the duration of your evasion by ½ second and your effective stealth level by 1. In addition, you activate Exfiltrate, or when you activate Exfiltrate, you have a 15% chance, I'm pretty sure that is 30, when you get it maxed out, to gain Quickening, which makes your next Culto Infusion activate instantly, cost no energy, and not require or consume tactical advantage. Sounds more PvP-ish to me, but is very good if you're trying to stay alive in PvE. Shiv has a 20% chance to trigger Fatality, which makes your next Cull re-grant tactical advantage and cost no energy. This effect cannot occur more than once every 10 seconds. That is quite good. That goes up to 60%, I think. Other than that, the talent trees are all the same from there on. But quite nice changes overall for the Operative. I did get to do a little bit of the new ops with my Operative. I felt like as a DPS Operative, my regeneration on my energy was much quicker. I felt more like a rogue from WoW and less like a gunslinger or a sniper, because they have to watch their energy so damn closely most of the time, and I'm very bad at that, so I'm always out of energy. I'm like, ugh, it sucks, you know? So with the changes like this with the Operative, I really like DPSing on her now, because I just feel like I'm not having to focus so much on it. It's still something you have to keep your mind on, so it still requires that that bit of skill to, you know, understand when to use certain abilities and when not to. However, it is just a little easier to manage, and I like that. And plus, I mean, you have the coolest ability now with the roll. It's so cool. I love this thing. They should have added this long ago. I know many Operatives that are just going to be very happy with that. Plus, it comes with the Gunslinger and the Sniper as well, except it rolls you 18 meters, and if you're slowed, only 12 meters. I think that's what that is. I think. Don't hold me to it. Maybe 9 meters if you're slowed. I don't know. We'll see when we get to the Gunslinger and Sniper trees and all that. But as always, if you want to see more of this patch 2.0 content, just subscribe to us or follow us on Facebook or Twitter. All that information is in the description below. You'll find out all of the new videos we're uploading. We're going to cover this patch extensively because it's going into the new expansion, which means there's a lot of new content. And as stuff gets updated, we will update these guides as well. Maybe new things are added to different classes or changed, or talent trees are just completely reworked. Who knows? But we will cover it, and that is for sure. So if you want to stay up to that or up to date with that, follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or subscribe to us on YouTube. But other than that, we shall see you guys next time.